Welcome to the Vantage HR Influencers Podcast. This podcast is sponsored by Vantage Circle, the leading employee benefits and engagement platform.
You might be inclined to think that the only thing that matters to your employees is money. They're happy as long as they get their salary, right? Not really. To feel completely happy with their work, employees need both rewards and recognition. But when is the reward suitable, and when is the best time for recognition? And what is the difference between rewards and recognition? Let's know in today's episode. Hi everyone, this is Sushmita from Vantage HR Influencers Podcast, and today we have with us Shreya Sawant, who is an HR professional with 10 years of expertise in managing a full spectrum of human resources programs, services, and functions. She has a strong understanding and hands-on experience in business partnering, talent acquisition, talent management, employee engagement, and training and development. She has worked with the best firms in broadcast, digital, music label, film production, and print. Welcome to our podcast, Shreya.
Hi, Shushmita. Thank you so much for giving me the honor of being a HR influencer speaker on this particular podcast.
Welcome. So before we start, please let us know a brief about your journey in the corporate world and your areas of interest.
So in 2008, I graduated my first job in recruitment consultancy to hire super talents for the most exciting industry function, that was media and entertainment.
Okay.
I was always very much inclined towards being a part of media and entertainment industry.
Mm-hmm.
From there, the journey started under the guidance of my manager. Interestingly, the business was being driven by a female leadership, which not only made me comfortable in my day-to-day job, but also inspired me to grow. The first hiccup I had was in 2007, 2009, the Great Recession. But as I've been a never give up attitude, I hustled out and I reached up to this particular level now. It's been like almost 10 years that I've worked with the best firms, say it an agency, broadcast, digital, in an OTT platform or a VOD platform, film production, job portals, music label. And not only have grown as a professional, but also as an individual in here. In the last few years, I've made good friends and I've met charismatic leaders. I consider myself fortunate enough to have encountered such talented, inspiring, and enthusiastic leaders whom I have found committed to excellence. The mantra of my corporate life is learn, unlearn, and relearn, which means we need to innovate, we need to transform ourselves into becoming more agile and open to challenges. We need to fall wisely and network extensively.
Right.
So in my whole career path, my career takes a highway when motivation is in a driver's seat. I believe the key to success in the corporate workplace lies in self-motivation and a focused approach towards an individual goal. In the last few years, the driving factor in my career has been the passion of my work and a very positive work culture. I have a strong understanding and hands-on experience of my areas of interest, if I could say, is business partnering, talent acquisition, talent management, rewards and recognition. At present, I am currently building a rewards recognition, designing a whole program for my consultancy, which I'm playing a role over there. Employee engagement, welfare, training and development. So that's been my whole area of interest, if I say. And thanks to COVID, that we are bringing back the human in the human resources.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. So, Shreya, when we speak about rewards and recognition, we must essentially define the different ways in which you can better appreciate your employees. So, what kind of rewards and recognition are offered by the organizations today?
So, let me ask you a question. What comes to your mind when you hear of employee recognition? Maybe corporate gifts, employee of the quarter, annual employee of the year, or team of the year, or maybe star performer, if I have to elaborate more.
Yeah, exactly.
But implementing employee recognition at workplace goes beyond than that. So employee gratitude is a supreme at workplace. That's one thing. When employees are well recognized, awarded, they feel empowered and motivated. I have seen a trend that the reward and recognition have more economical value than an emotional value. For example, if employee A has achieved the targets, he or she is rewarded and recognized as a star performer. But to reach that sales target, there have other factors involved too, like support from a subordinate, lead generation, marketing team, procurement team, and so on. Or say if a creative producer managed to get the costing low and the film shoot done in within the timelines, he or she is not appreciated.
Right.
Also, it is the case to case basis, I would say, but then that appreciation is not there at current situation. If I would say, it's always a monetary term.
So it will really make a huge difference to our wider HR thinking if we realize the difference between our rewards and recognition strategy. So what are the key differences between recognition and rewards you would like to mention here?
So yes, it will. In other words of Kiwi legend Dave Doblin, we are loyal. That's what employee stands for. Employee recognition works wonders on employee retention and loyalty. A simple thank you or a celebration of an employee's achievement is all it takes. And in turn, this will benefit the company's retention rate. So difference, I would say, is basically rewards are physical and monetary, whereas recognition is invaluable. So that's the differences I would say.
Right. So, recognition is typically the right way to go when it comes to employee motivation. 2015 study also showed recognition as the most significant motivating factor in employees. This is before monetary benefits or a package of incentives. It is not the only approach, however, because reward systems do have a special place in the workplace culture, and it can also be a way of empowering the workers. So the question here is, how do you know when rewards are necessary and when recognition is appropriate?
So if you have heard about Bob Nelson, he once said people may take a job for more money, but they often leave it for more recognition.
Right.
Have you heard about it?
Yeah, right.
So recognition can take a variety of approaches. Design program can include regular recognition, events such as banquets or breakfast, employee of the month, or year recognition, or annual report or yearbook, which features the accomplishment of the employees and the department of the company on the recognition boards. Such kind of an approaches can do wonders. Then a casual or a spontaneous recognition can take a form of privileges such as working at home, starting late or evening, leaving early, or long lunch breaks, a job well done. Can also be recognized by providing additional support or empowering the employee in a way such as greater choices of assignments, increased authority, or naming the employee as an internal consultant for the other staffs. So like coming up with a buddy program, that also helps a lot for somewhere as a recognition. If a new joinees come and there are like one buddy who has been an excellent personality for those new joiners, that can be an award also.
Right.
In order to secure benefits such as increased productivity while designing a reward program, one must identify the company or group goals to reach that particular behaviors or performance that will contribute to this. While this may seem obvious, companies frequently make a mistake of rewarding behaviors or achievements, but either fail to achieve business scale or actually disrupt them.
Right.
Likewise, if quality is an important issue for the employer, the reward system that they design should not emphasize rewarding the quantity of the work accomplishment by the team or the employee, or I would say appropriately measuring the performance safeguard if the program pays off in terms of business goals. Since you're talking about rewards have a real cost in terms of time or money. Employer needs to confirm that performance is actually upgraded before rewarding any employee. Like frequently it requires measuring something other than financial returns, reducing shortcomings, more contented customers, more swift deliveries, etc. So if I say a Zomato is launching a reward program, they should see the tag period or the delivering time. Is it reduced? Do you have more customer satisfaction receipt? That also can be a rewarding point, and not only monetary terms.
Right.
So when developing a reward program, employer and the HR should consider matching rewards to the end result of the company. Perfect attendance might merit a different reward than saving the companies like say a 10 lakh through improved contract negotiation. These two are different kind of rewards, if you would say. It also significant to consider rewarding both individual and group accomplishments in order to promote both individual initiative and group alliances and performance. So rewards should not just come up saying no, it's time to reward someone because they have done a good job, but should take the other factors in consideration too.
Right. So now if I ask you, Shreya, according to you, reward versus recognition, which is better?
Although these terms are often used interchangeably, reward and recognition systems should be considered separately. That's what I feel.
Yeah.
For me, recognition is always the key to my future success, as I can proudly say that during my tenure at Saregama India, I designed the new joiner orientation program, which is till date utilized by the team for the induction. Or say I hired 80 to 100 candidates in 45 days, a milestone achieved. And I'm still recognized by existing and my ex-colleagues that was a wonderful job done by me. So for me, it's always recognition.
So this quote that you mentioned, by Bob Nelson, that people may take a job for more money, but they often leave it for recognition. It actually makes a lot of sense here, right?
Yes, it does.
Yeah. So hardworking people are what every company is now looking for or looks for in this pandemic and post this pandemic. But when everything is so broken and getting used to now, how can you best recognize and reward them for their efforts?
So employees and organizations all over the world have started working remotely for quite some time, and now due to the unprecedented COVID-19, I don't see how that's going to work very much soon. But a year back, no one would have thought that working from home or would be for such a long time, and that also can be like a reward for someone.
Yes. We actually started thinking it to be like it will work for like 2 to 3 months initially, then it extended to 9 months, and then it's almost
it's almost like a year now, which will be completing if you go to see.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a reward, if I would say, for some of the employees that they're working from home. So with so many distractions at home, it is easy to disengage from your job. It reduces employee engagement and impacts employee productivity also, which I can quietly say, if in these calls also I'm having to one of my nephew just popping in and asking what am I doing. So there are some disturbances which I can see. So due to the ongoing COVID-19 issue, it has been difficult for managers to follow the traditional employee recognition program. It has affected organizations all over across industries. As a result, remote recognition through employee recognition software and other tools are becoming more widespread now. So recently I had a call with someone from one of a software tool. They were giving me a portal which could have an engagement activity on a Christmas celebration. Like you can have this activity thrown to your employees and a Christmas tree could be celebrated or decorated online. So there are employee recognition software and engagement software which are coming on, which are actually increasing a lot now. So with this, unprecedented events require unprecedented measures. At the office, it might have been very easy to reward and recognize your employee for their achievements by having a simple stand-up, sponsoring office lunch, or simply having a round of applause for the achiever. But now, since employees are working remotely, organize virtual face-to-face meetups through Google Meet, Skype, or Zoom to announce the achievement. That's become the trend. I was a part of HR 40 under 40 virtual ceremony, and it was really interactive and innovatively planned and executed. That was happening at 7:30, like how we are having right now a call. So it was really very nicely done. And I've seen a lot of organizations using social or professional company pages like LinkedIn, Facebook, or Instagram to share employee achievements. May it be an employee's personal professional development or a job well done. In return, it serves two purposes. That is, employer branding and appreciation to an employee too. So if you go to see, rewards and recognition is not gone out of the whole organizational plan, but it's still there, but in bits and pieces.
Right. Vantage Circle is also having its own rewards and recognition program. So we'd really like to know what should be the end goal of any rewards and recognition program.
If I would say anyone who's planning to come up with a recognition program, don't just recognize them as an employee or who makes a sale. Recognize the ambition and the perseverance that the employee use in order to achieve it. So I wouldn't say sale is the only recognition an employee should get. A cost saving can be a recognition, or attendance can be a recognition. Say a presentation was well done, that can also be a recognition. So awarding only for sales doesn't make that impact.
Right. That means every small thing, every small effort matters, right?
Correct. So, for example, I would give you arranging an event for, say, a virtual for around 100 to 200 employees done by a marketing team, but with the help of an HR. Or with the help of an admin team. That's also kind of a recognition, because at this particular time, having those 200 to 300 employees come on one platform on the same time and getting an event performed, maybe having a party for that, they are providing any kind of an food to those employees' houses. Admin is involved over there to get that particular food delivered to that particular house where the employee is staying. So that's also one point of an recognition to be done, because the party or the event which they're having it on virtual basis, the food has been procured by the admin team. Maybe it's done by a vendor, but at that point of a time, they did a good job. So that's something, a great thing to be achieved and to be recognized.
So what would be your tips for creating a great rewards and recognition program?
So I'm currently preparing one reward and recognition program for one of my consultant company, which I'm playing for.
Okay, great.
So what I would say is, know your audience. There's simply no such thing as one size fits all approach to developing a successful reward program. Everyone is unique. So see how the audience is. Then know the budget. Depending on whether it's a short-term or a long-term reward and the number of targeted audience, the budget varies. And of course, it is the most important, determine the cost of the reward.
Right.
So if you're rewarding someone, make it a point that the reward amount is really valuable to the person who's receiving. Then set the right targets and the rewards. Depending on your company's actual situation, you may offer monetary or non-monetary rewards to an employee. A small thank you emailer also works in some cases, or a certificate, that also works. Then communication. It is important for all levels of the employees to acquaint themselves about the reward program. After all, if they are the who going to take the part in the program, and only with sufficient communication can management review its effectiveness on a regular basis. So if you don't be very much approachable, or if the communication flow is not proper within the whole employees, then I don't think that reward and recognition program will hold his strength. And for the program to be successful, it's like, be specific, be timely, be fair. For example, you start the program, say, for the first quarter, second quarter you forget it, third quarter you again come up with a going ahead and doing the employee of the quarter, just because we didn't do it in the quarter two, or maybe there were in the quarter two there was only one employee who was rewarded. But how should we get it, say around 100 employees to come and give one particular person an award? That doesn't make sense. So I would say, if you're having timelines done, maybe a one person who's receiving an award or two, make that happen at that particular time, because timing matters a lot.
Right. Also that, makes it more valuable for the employees, right?
Correct. That's right.
Yeah.
Person's achievement was for that quarter. If you're rewarding someone in the next quarter, doesn't make sense.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah. So lastly, any suggestions for HR managers or work experience managers who chalks out rewards and recognition strategy within their organizations?
So I would suggest that every company has set of values. Find out what these are and enforce them as such as possible. Name meeting rooms after them. Have them as a wallpaper or everyone's desktop. Do whatever it takes to promote them. Once you have bombarded your employees with the values, get them working to achieve it. It's a great link for the company values to be a recognition program. So once you have those sorted and chalked it out, you can have the strategy in place.
So Shreya, how can our listeners reach out to you?
Oh, I'm available on LinkedIn. You can search me on LinkedIn. Or anyone who wants to write to me can write to me on Sawant, SAWANT.Shreya, SHREYA 07@gmail.com.
Okay, great. That was really a very insightful conversation, Shreya. Thanks a lot for joining me.
Thank you so much. Thanks a lot. It was my honor.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thanks for listening to Vantage HR Influencers Podcast, where we engage with HR influencers about human resources. Please do subscribe to Vantage HR Influencers Podcast on Apple Podcasts and Spotify for new episodes.